Hello everyone. Today's issue will make your heart beat faster because we have prepared for you 15 most crazy and unusual records. There will be fire, dizzying heights, and crazy depths. If you want to know how many minutes a person can survive in a bulb filled with ice or in fire without oxygen, what it's like to be tied to a reactive dragster and make a crazy trip hearing only the roar of his motor, or if you want to feel the drive of a rider racing with the speed of a passenger liner, then make yourself comfortable and let's go. Let's start with the biggest number of motorcycle rides across the body of a person lying on nails. The Australian stuntman Shane Holtgren, also known as Space Cowboy, dared to do this incredible stunt. He used to surprise the audience with swallowing swords and juggling chainsaws. But this trick became the most dangerous in his career. At the time of setting the record, Shane lay bare bones on sharp nails, while the bike used his body as a live springboard and rode over his body a total of 20 times. The Austrian stuntman Josef Tödling decided to perform an equally crazy trick. He set himself on fire several times in a row with the goal of breaking 3 Guinness records at once. As a result, he set a record for the longest distance overcome by a burning man tied to a horse, which was 1,645 feet at a speed of 21 miles per hour. Then he tied himself to a quad bike, and this time he rode 1,909 feet in flames. The stuntman also stood in the fire without oxygen for almost 6 minutes, setting the best result for the longest burning of a living person. Tödling put on several layers of fireproof clothing so these crazy fits wouldn't turn into a tragedy. The stuntman himself and even the hair on his bare head remained unharmed. Anthony Britton from Great Britain got away with minor burns and was just a little scared, setting a new world record in the 590-foot race in burning clothes. He was wearing 3 overalls, a balaclava, a helmet, and boots. His skin was covered with a special gel protecting against burns. Anthony, blazing with fire, overcame the distance in 50 seconds, and then just fell to the ground. The fire brigade came to the rescue and quickly extinguished the record holder. The hero of our next video hit the bullseye. A famous video blogger and basketball fan, Tyler Toney, made a record throwing the ball into the ring from the roof of a 200-foot skyscraper. Just look at this. He made the throw from the roof of the Chase Tower in Oklahoma. We are not sure how many attempts were made to establish this world record. Pakistani athlete Rashid Nassim found a new way to use his head. It took him only 60 seconds to break 51 watermelons with it and set a new world record. The former record holder from Germany broke only 43 watermelons over the same period. Nassim is also famous for using his hand to split the record number of walnuts in 60 seconds, 281. In 2017, he got into the Guinness Book for breaking 43 green coconuts with his iron head. In 2016, in the Chinese city of Wuhan, a very unusual world record was broken: the fall of people dominoes on mattresses. In total, this human domino consisted of 2,016 people, and the line of dominoes bent 34 times. The falling mattresses with people lasted 14 minutes, 47 seconds. The same year, in the desert in Southern California, a jump without a parachute, which made history, was recorded. An American skydiver, Luke Akins, jumped from a light aircraft without a parachute at an altitude of 25,000 feet. For 2.5 minutes, he was in free fall, flying at a speed of about 170 feet per second, and successfully landed on the grid at the height of the 20th floor of a skyscraper. The Guild of Actors demanded that Akins put on a parachute, but he refused because this would dramatically increase his weight. To demonstrate this jump, 3 more skydivers jumped along with Luke. One was shooting the video, the other was leaving a trail of smoke for a landmark on the surface of the Earth, and the third one took a balloon with oxygen from Luke. Then all 3 opened parachutes and got away from Akins. The 42-year-old daredevil was preparing this record stunt for 2 years. His whole family was watching his landing, except his mother, who was too nervous to do that. And now let's talk about the exact opposite record. reaching the depth of the ocean. The deepest scuba dive was carried out in 2014 by 41-year-old athlete Ahmad Gaber. The diving instructor from Egypt reached the depth of 1,090 feet in the Red Sea and set a record that hasn't been beaten yet. It took the athlete 4 years to attain. All this time, Ahmad worked with an elite team of divers who developed a dive plan and evaluated various risks, such as nitrogen poisoning, decompression sickness, and high-tension nervous syndrome. Decompression is stopping at certain depths for a specified period, during which nitrogen, helium, or other gases accumulated in the body tissues during the immersion naturally exit through the lungs. If you do not take this into account, then the excess gas begins to exit too fast, sometimes bubbling like an open bottle of champagne. The bubbles can deform body tissues, clog vessels, and deprive them of blood supply, leading to severe symptoms. It took Ahmad only 12 minutes to dive in the required depth, whereas the rise to the surface took 14 hours due to the danger of decompression. In total, the Egyptian needed 9 cylinders, most of which were filled with a mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, and helium. His support team also used 92 such cylinders. Just a few months ago, a fantastic record was set within the framework of the I Am Not Breathing campaign that attracts public attention to the problem of autism. In Croatia, the diver Budimir Šobat held his breath underwater for 24 minutes and 11 seconds. Just imagine, you would have had time to watch an episode of The Big Bang Theory while this thrill seeker would hold his breath. The Dutchman Wim Hof, known as the Iceman due to his ability to withstand extremely low temperatures, knows everything about toughening up his body. And this is not surprising, for he has set a world record for the most extended stay in the ice. He stayed in a transparent bulb filled with cold, icy water for 120 minutes. Experts think this is just phenomenal, staying 2 hours in an ice bath without fatal consequences for health. Hoff also climbed the French Mont Blanc wearing just swim shorts and made a 1-minute swim under the ice of a frozen lake. This legendary tightrope walker has set 7 world records in different parts of the world. Swiss Freddie Knock knows everything about adrenaline, but his most impressive trick is balancing on a rope with a diameter of 0.7 inches at an altitude of 11,483 feet in the Alps. At 5 degrees Fahrenheit, Freddie made an unforgettable walk along the cable stretched between the 2 alpine peaks of Bernina and Piz Privlus. He covered a distance of 1,140 feet between the 2 alpine mountains in about 25 minutes and broke the record of the famous Philippe Petit, who walked between the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York, which couldn't be broken for 30 years. And this guy holds a world record for riding a quarter of a mile on his stomach on the pavement behind a reactive dragster with the capacity of 14,000 liters per second. The only person who dared to do this was the American Reno Jayton. For protection, he was wearing a specially made suit and metal knee pads. You are probably wondering what speed the jet car developed. 236 miles per hour. When Jayton's temperature raised dramatically, he unhooked himself from the car and completed his record ride. Another fan of high-speed races is Eric Barone. At the end of his sports career, this thrill seeker decided to fulfill his plan and outperform himself. He set a new world record by riding a bicycle down from a snowy slope at a crazy speed of 141 miles per hour. 2 years earlier, Barron managed to do the same with a record of 139 miles per hour. To perform his crazy tricks, this fan of extreme sports uses only a special bicycle and a unique protective ammunition. Without such measures, this hobby would become too dangerous. By the way, the speed of 137 miles per hour is enough for a passenger aircraft to take off. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and see you soon.